currently in Archila Shantiniketan, and my mother and I are presenting a show called Tarar Naam Arundhati, a star named Arundhati, which is an archival exhibition that is a centenary tribute to a Bengali film actress and director called Arundhati Devi. Arundhati really was in acting not so much for the glamour of it. She was in it more for the intellectual satisfaction that she gained from her craft. We are associated with Arundhati Devi via family ties. So she's my grand aunt and she's my mother's aunt. My mother came into the project from an interest in familial archives, and I came into the project from an interest in cinema history. And I definitely wanted it to be about Arundhati's individual journey, but also Arundhati in her times. She's a rare case of an actress who came into the Bengali film industry in the 1950s with a very cultured background, and she grew up in Dhaka, trained in Shantiniketan, so she comes with that kind of erudition. And Shantiniketan really was a very close space for her, in fact, in terms of everything that it gave her, its association with Robindra Sangeet, as well as, dance and theatre. But she was also here during the last years of Tagore's time in Shantiniketan, and she gets to sing for Rabindranath Tagore. This is also a period of, nationalist upheaval. So we wanted to basically do an exhibition which was multifaceted. And we were given the option of first staging this exhibition in Shantiniketan. It's later going to travel to Calcutta. But we thought really this was the best way of bringing back Arundhati to a place that was so close to her heart. She was a big name in the 1950s and 60s. And then after that, she took a hiatus and she comes back briefly to cinema. But she's not as well known as, say, a Suchitra Sen or a Supriya Devi. And I definitely wanted it to be about Arundhati's individual journey, but also Arundhati in her times. So, who are the other figures who were part of this particular industry at that time, and on whom there really hasn't been that much written. There might be more in the Bengali field of scholarship and in literature and in journalistic studies, but not so much within, things like overall national scholarship on Bengali cinema. So it was really also about rediscovering the figure, in fact, for my generation. And we also wanted to bring out the different aspects of Arundhati's life and career, because, of course, she's best known as a cinema actress, but she really had a prior career as a radio artist. And then after that, she goes into direction. And she's one of the early women directors in Bengali cinema, and she even starts a production house. So it was important for us to bring in all these different facets. One thing that I've noticed from whatever films I've been able to watch, and this really has been the challenge of this particular project, because there are close to 37 films that Arundhati Devi acts in, but out of that, I've been able to watch only 15 or 16, because most of the films are in a fairly poor quality, or many of them have been completely lost. But one of the things that I have recognized in her acting and also the roles that she chose was that, again, very much like her own personality, she liked to play characters, in fact, who had a strong independent sense of identity. So I think the first photograph I want to point out is this one. It has Arundhati with Nargis and Surya Kumari and Beena Rai, and they are in 1952 and in Hollywood. This is part of an interesting album which came down to us. And this was a trip that Arundhati made as a part of a larger delegation of representatives of the Indian cinema industry who were invited by Hollywood to tour their studios. And it was part of a kind of creative cultural exchange program. This was also at the height of the Cold War, so there are new kind of political alignments, in fact, that are at play. But I think for me, what's most interesting is how all of them are so fascinated by something we've taken for granted now, which is television. But back then, it was, in fact, a very new form of technology. And Arundhati actually writes about how she was really amazed by the workings of the big studios, how formal as well as how well planned they were. And, we've also included a quote on her looking at makeup. There's an image over here also of her looking at makeup, how well it's done in Hollywood. So this really is one special photograph. One advantage we had was that Arundhati Devi was very neat and organized in the way in which she preserved her own material. And she labeled a lot of her photographs. Her daughter Anuradha also inherited a lot of this material, and she also clustered these in different ways. So thanks to both of them, we actually got bits of information. But the one thing, in fact, that we had to do was we had to, in fact, create a larger sense of really an organized archive. And we're still in the process of doing this because the thing is that there's lots of photographs that are still there. We've been able to digitize close to around 200 to 250 photographs. There's a lot of fragile paper documents also that we found because, as I said, she ran her own production house. She maintained all the meticulous correspondences, in fact, with different people she was approaching. A lot of, in fact, working scripts, unfinished material, in fact, that exists. We had a 3-stage plan really for the project. One was, in fact, to do initial set of screenings on Arundhati Devi's birth anniversary, which was, or the centenary, April 29th, 2024, which happened at Nandon. Then we wanted to do an exhibition later in the year to kind of show everybody the wealth of the photographs that we have. And over here, I must say that my designers, as well as the person who worked with me in printing, there's Shan Bhattacharya, Shomadip Ghosh, and Shorbojoy Paul. They really did a fantastic job taking small images or really damaged images, in fact, cleaning them up, showing you what exactly could come of these images. So this exhibition is really devoted to that and to kind of give a lot of people who have very little information on Arundhati a sense of her life. And then after that, we want to bring out a book out of this and eventually to entirely digitize the archive.